Hello everyone. I have done some machine embroidery, sewn a dress for Project Dress a Girl, made a few purchases, and I'm going to dig right into it. Now, one of the items that I did machine embroidery on, I can't show you because I've sent it and I don't want to spoil the surprise. I will share it with you later, and it was a very happy set. Before I forget, today I am wearing the Cielo top by Closet Core Patterns. This is in a red chambray. I believe I bought this chambray from Hearts Fabric. Not sure, but I think that's where it came from. So my first show and tell item is something that I sewed, or I did machine embroidery on, for Charlie's sister's husband who has a big birthday coming up. And it is this journal cover. This is a Design by Juju all-in-one hoop project, and I wanted to make it special. So it has a pen pocket attached. I embroidered on it for my brother-in-law. His name is Ed, Poems, Stories, Ed. He writes beautiful poetry and stories as a hobby. He's had a few published, and I wanted to give him something special for this big birthday, and he really does appreciate a handmade item, and I thought this would be perfect for him. This fits a regular size composition notebook. This one's a little flimsy because when Charlie went to the store, he couldn't find the standard sturdy cardboard version, so I've just got this one popped in here for demonstration purposes, and I'm going to look for the normal size one, or I should say the normal material. So this does have an elastic. I've got some fold over elastic that keeps it closed. I did personalize the cover, and all I did was add the lettering into the design. I used Embrilliance software to do that, and I looked for a more masculine design with these diamond quilted pattern, and I think it turned out really cute. The only thing I will say is this takes a lot longer than you would think. It was 3 hoopings, and you have to babysit a little bit. And I found that I was not quite as accurate in my placement. I thought I was. There's a lot of steps to this. And I think the next time I do a journal cover, I'm going to use Andra's tutorial from Andra Makes. Adam from Adam Sews sells them. So if you don't want to follow Andra's tutorial and make your own, you can go over to Adam's shop, and he does sell beautiful journal covers. So I think I'm going to try Andra's for my next version, because I can always hoop up and personalize it. And I remembered why I have not done a ton of these. It turned out cute. Let me show you the inside. It does have flap covers and is lined, but sometimes I think straight up sewing is quicker than some of these in the hoop projects. So that was my first sew. My other embroidery sew, as I said, is in the mail, and my next item was another dress for the hashtag Project Dress a Girl project being run the whole month of September by Madi of Madi's Sews, where we sew dresses for impoverished girls around the world. Now this may look familiar. This is the Violet Fields thread Piper pattern, and I did this version. My first one was sleeves with a little elastic, and this one with the flutter sleeve. So this flutter sleeve version is so cute. I think it's super adorable. This one does take a little more time than the cap sleeve with the elastic, because you have to gather your ruffle, attach it, and then with the burrito method, this was pretty lumpy under here. I got there in the end. One of these sleeves I had to unpick and it's probably this one judging by how it looks. But I got there in the end, and I think it looks really cute, and I believe a little girl is going to enjoy that. Now, something I wanted to talk about with Project Dress a Girl dresses, as you know, if you've been following along with the project, you need to add a pocket to the dress. And I wanted to give you some hints on adding the patch pocket. I know Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room is going to be doing a pocket tutorial, but you want to think about your pocket placement. So on these dresses, I just eyeballed where I would put the lower pocket, and I pretended like I had a little girl's arm and where that hand would comfortably go into the top of the pocket. I think many of us have put pockets in garments and put them in too low and been disappointed by our pocket placement. So I did pay some attention to the pocket placement. One of the guidelines that I have on a dress pattern for children says to place the top of the pocket 1 to 2 inches from the top of the waist. So if you were to look at a dress like this, you could approximate where the waist is and measure from there if you wanted to be a little more precise about your pocket placement. This is much more comfortable than just slapping a pocket, way down here to where it won't be as useful. Now, all pockets are great, and I know that the girls will be so thankful for all of these dresses. This is a fabulous charitable project, and if you want to learn more, I'm going to link information below and in the end cards. Now for my purchases. Every year, I sew matching Hudson joggers for my husband and for all the grandchildren. They love to match each other, and I love how much they enjoy matching each other. So I let my daughter-in-law pick out the fabric. I don't know if I'm going to share the fabric with Charlie yet. I think maybe I'm going to let it be a surprise for him as well. Let me know if I should surprise him or should I tell him what I'm making. So this is the fabric that all of the joggers are going to be made out of. And yes, it is familiar. I bought some of this French terry to make myself a South Bank sweater by Nina Lee. I ran out of cool weather by the time I made the plans last year. So that is going to be soon in the plans for me. So I'm going to get to match them in my own way. I love this print. Like I said, I have it in the French terry for me, and I also bought it in a rayon challis, and I really need to get that sewn up. I love the Minerva Core range or exclusive. I think this is a Minerva exclusive French terry. I like the quality of it. It feels smooth to the touch. It's not too heavy. It's not too light. I really do enjoy it, and that's pretty much what I have been buying lately. So this will be the Hudson Pants, and I purchased some cuffing or ribbing for myself, but a message from my daughter-in-law really got me thinking. So I had my colors done. I found out that I'm a calm autumn. I've been loving wearing the autumn colors, and I thought, right, let me get a bunch of new cuffing in some fun autumnal colors. So this I believe is burnt orange. I'm not sure if this is khaki or the kale or fern green. I'm not sure which this is. I have some sienna, dropping them. I have some brown. I have one more on the way. So I got these for myself thinking that these would work with adding some interesting detail to some of the warmer toned colors I'm going to be sewing myself. But I want you to take a look at this. Let me see if you can see it all. So I'm going to change things up a little bit thanks to some insight from my daughter-in-law. She sent me a text and said, the family laundress would like to know, is there any way that we could differentiate the sizes with the matching pants so that the family laundress can tell whose pants are whose? And I did order some tags with sizes that I'm absolutely going to sew in. So instead of using the navy cuffing that I was intending to use for the trim on the pocket and for the cuffs, I'm going to do each pair with a different trim detail and a different cuff. So I've got several to choose from. I'm going to audition them, and I think that will also help the kids to know whose pants are whose. I think having the different trims and cuffs are going to elevate these pants, and I'm looking forward to making them. So for my plans for myself, the next sewing plan I have is to sew up this viscose jersey that I got in my Think Pink subscription box. And I have decided that I'm going to make the lotta dress using this fabric. I'm going to cut out the same size I always cut out for myself. And by always, I've made this once and I love it. I was wearing the dress the other day and I thought, oh, I definitely need another one of these. I have a little bit of ease in the dress, and I think that will work with this drapey fabric that might have a tendency to cling a little bit. So I'm going to do some pattern placements to see if I can get it out of 2.5 meters. I know that I was able to get it out of 2.5 yards, so I should be able to, but I haven't measured the width of this, and I think I'm going to have to be very careful in my cutting. I'm not putting any pockets on it because I don't think pockets in something this light and drapey will work, so I'm not going to bother putting them on. So that's what I have planned. Now, as to life, last week I had one of those days where everything was just kind of going wrong, and as the title of the children's book, I think it goes, Alexander's terrible, very bad, no good day. I had one of those days, and you would not believe how much some comments that I received that day on my channel uplifted me, and especially the support of my sew sisters. I texted them, I was letting them know how I felt, and they were right there supporting me. And that's one of the things I love the most about the sewing community. It's a giving, loving community, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. And that's why I started this channel. Yes, I do love to teach. I love to give tutorials. I love to talk all things sewing. But what I love most is you, the community. Us, the community. So thank you so much. And this is what YouTube thinks you'd like to see next.